Now, the next thing I really want to talk about is sublimation, working with your sexual energy. As I've mentioned, everything in this universe is energy. Yoga and Qigong are the sciences of working with your energy. And when we talk about tantric practices and Taoist practices regarding sexuality, it's all about harnessing that sexual energy for more power. And as I also said before, this chronic ejaculation that many men are doing with porn or with masturbation alone is creating a depletion in your being. And this is what leads to erectile dysfunction. Chronic ejaculation is a major problem. So you learn how to masturbate and how to have sex without ejaculating. But don't worry, it's not taking away your pleasure, because eventually you learn to have full body orgasms that last for minutes and minutes. And it's far superior to that sneeze in the groin that's over in about 15 to 30 seconds. That ejaculation orgasm is an explosion. You lose energy and then you feel depleted, even emotionally and mentally low because of that depletion of loss of energy. Now, when we start to talk about sublimation, we're going to take that sexual energy and instead of ejaculating it out, we're going to move it up through the body. And how do we do this? Well, we do this first of all with the root lock. And we've talked about this, the Kegels in the Western scientific approach, and in the yogic approach, it's called the internal lock at the root lock. That means lifting the muscles of the genitals, perineum, and anus, and pulling that energy up out of that area. And we also do the abdominal lock. That's pulling the stomach in and up. And when you're creating that vacuum in the stomach, it sucks the energy up to the higher energy centers. Now, whether you believe in energy or not, there is no real discussion here because everything is energy and science has proven this. So we're going to take that energy and move it up with these internal locks. And remember, you're going to get these bonus videos that have deep tutorials on these internal locks. The part I want you to talk about or understand right now is that sublimation is the process of taking the energy from the sexual area and bring it up. Where do you bring it up into? Well, first you bring it up into the heart, and this helps to open our emotional center. So many of us have blockages here. We have created a wall around our heart to protect ourselves. We've had trauma, we've been hurt by family, friends, partners, lovers, society, teachers. The world around us is a challenging place at times. So we start to protect ourselves. And this prevents us from experiencing a truly deep connection, not only with ourselves, but with the world around us and with our partners. So if you can learn to take that sexual energy, put it into the heart, this is therapy. This is healing for our emotional state. And we continue to move that energy up into the throat and allow ourselves to speak our truth, allow ourselves to be experts or masters of communication. Then we take the energy up into the brain. And this is where it really opens up our possibility to be masters of ourselves, because our brain is the filter of reality. And when we start to clear out the blockages that we have in the brain and we start to open up our awareness and expand our consciousness, this is the true journey of yoga and spirituality. And we do this by working with our energy, and specifically working with that sexual energy, because that is your most powerful force that you have. So sublimation is something that you're going to see in the other videos that are part of this course. I'm just giving you an introduction now, and then it's important to do some sublimation every day, because if you're not doing sublimation, that energy just expands down there. Or if you're doing ejaculation, that's the real problem. And once you start to learn to masturbate without ejaculating, you're going to get stronger and stronger physically, emotionally, mentally, but also your erections are going to get stronger and stronger because you're not losing that energy day after day. And I know many men who masturbate at least once a day, sometimes more than that. And if you're not one of those men, but you're still masturbating or having sex and ejaculating a couple times a week, literally every time we ejaculate, we deplete ourselves. So this is a really important concept, because when you are able to control that sexual energy, you start to be able to control your erection. So watch the videos on sublimation that I'm going to include in this package, and watch the videos on the root lock and the abdominal lock. And these are the things you start to do every day. You can do them with your breathing practice that I highly recommend you get into doing every day. And you can also do them before, during, and after making love. So you're circulating this energy and you're empowering yourself rather than weakening yourself. And this whole video that we have here, this other bonus video in the package, will take you through the course of learning how to master your ejaculation so that maybe you want to ejaculate occasionally. I'm not saying ejaculation is evil and it's killing you, but it is making you tired and weaker than you need to be, and it's impacting your erection. So learning to control this practice of stimulation without ejaculation is the next level. And this is what I really want you to understand, because if you can do this, you'll never have a problem again with erectile dysfunction.